The anime begins with a girl running in a flame-ridden village searching for her mother, but a flame storm takes hold of her, and she vanishes into thin air. After this, the story starts with Mikami Satoru, who is a pretty happy guy, but his only disappointment is that he has not had a single girlfriend in 37 years. He is stopped by his junior Tamura, who tells him that he is going to get married soon with his girlfriend. Just a minute after, a guy comes running with a knife in his hand towards Tamura, but Mikami comes in the way, and he gets stabbed. Tamura tries to help him, but Mikami starts hearing weird sentences in his brain that basically narrate his death, but before he dies, he tells Tamura to delete everything in his computer's hard drive. He also makes a vow that if he is reborn, he will hit on every girl he sees. After this, to his surprise, even after dying physically, his mind still works, and he remembers everything about his death. As soon as he opens his eyes, he sees that he is in some other world, and he has been reincarnated as a slime. He gets sad at first that he was such a handsome man, but now he's just some worthless slime. But this thought soon changes when he finds out that he does not have to eat or sleep to survive, so he just goes around, but soon he hears the same voice in his head that he did before dying. This time the voice tells him that he is the great sage and that he has gained a skill called Predator, which allows him to react more quickly to things, as well as analyze them. He goes into a mine where he finds some valuable gems, so he gobbles them up until the point that he gets so heavy he drowns in the water. After this, the magic voice in his head tells him that he is not invincible, even though he will not feel things. Suddenly he runs into Voldora, who is a dragon that protects the cave, and he angers him by calling him a baldy. The dragon forgives him on a term that he will give him eyes only if he promises not to get scared after seeing him. Mikami agrees, and the dragon tells him about a skill called magic sense, which he can use to see things without eyes. Then, to his disappointment, he looks into the water and sees that he really is a slime, but the moment he looks back, he is shocked to see that there is a dragon. Then he introduces himself as the Storm Dragon, and Mikami tells him his entire story. After this, the dragon tells him that he is unique, as no one has been reincarnated as a slime into their world before. Hearing this, Mikami says that he is about to leave, but Voldora gets sad and asks him to stay. After this, the dragon tells Mikami that he was sealed in the cave about 300 years back when he accidentally turned an entire town into ashes. He tells Mikami that the hero who defeated him was called a summon, who, as the name suggests, was summoned from another world. Then Mikami asks Voldora to be friends with him, since both of them have had lonely, miserable lives, after which Voldora gets angry, but accepts his friendship. Back on Earth, Tomaru can be seen destroying Mikami's PC by throwing it in the bathtub. Mikami asks Voldora if there is a way to get him out, but he tells him that he will die before that happens. Then Mikami asks the voice in his mind to find a way to get Voldora out, and he thinks that he might be able to get Voldora inside his stomach and help him get out that way. To which Voldora happily agrees. But before doing this, Voldora asks Mikami to give him a name, and he comes up Tempest. Hearing this, Voldora gets excited as hell, and he gives Mikami a new name as well, which is Rimuru. After this, Rimuru uses his Predator skill to get Tempest in his stomach, and he succeeds, after which he starts analyzing the magical seal that had imprisoned Tempest in an attempt to get him out. Then the story goes to the guildmaster of the town, who is stressed at the disappearing of Voldora, and they decide to investigate it. Just a few days later, as Rimuru tries to get out of the cave, he acquires a few more moves while traveling in water, which make him the master of waters. But soon he runs into a weird snake-like monster who he is able to defeat easily, and then he uses his Predator skill to eat that snake up, leaving him in disgust and giving him 2 more skills, with which he can sense breath poison and mimic the serpent monster he had defeated. Then he runs into a few more monsters, and obviously he defeats them with ease, acquiring moves one after another. Then, after several weeks of wandering in that cave, he finally finds the exit, which is locked by a gate. As soon as he reaches there, the gate opens up and a few army men get into the cave. Seeing this, Rimuru hides, and as soon as they go ahead, he tries escapes through the gate. After this, while he is strolling around in the forest, he comes face to face with a lot of goblins that fear him. They ask him for a favor after seeing his powers, and they take him to their village to meet their elder. The goblins tell Rimuru that their god disappeared a month ago, and ever since then monsters have been harassing them. Rimuru tries to see himself with his magic sense, and he gets to know that he has a crazy aura. After this, he gets to know that there are monsters named direwolves, with each direwolf being as powerful as 10 goblins, and a total of 100 direwolves that have been attacking them, and they are a mere 60 goblins. When Rimuru finally agrees to help the goblins, a few direwolves come into the village, but Rimuru tells the goblins that he will protect them, after which the goblins made Rimuru their leader. But is Rimuru able to defend them? Does Volbora come back to see him? Who was the girl in the beginning? If you want the answer to these questions, hit the subscribe button, like this video and comment down below that you want a second part of the recap, and we will see you guys in our next recap.